Welcome to the 2023 Western Minnesota Steam Threshers Reunion. These are just some of the many stories told by the military veterans who have served this country.
Okay, my name is Terry Tyken. My birth name is Terrence, but only the government or my wife, when she's upset with me, calls me that. Originally I grew up on a farm south and east of Ogama, Minnesota. I am currently living in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. I was in the Army. I was a draftee. On that first draft lottery, I didn't have to wait long. I got a 3. So I got my draft notice on December 24th, 1969. And by early 70, I was gone. I am not a member of the Steam Threshers, but I should be. And I do want to thank Nick Nelson. He was a former student. I taught at high school at Lake Park, Audubon for 45 years, and Nick was a student, as was his mother, as were his brothers and sister. And one year I was looking at the plates up on where they do the steam press, and I noticed, they did Women on the Prairie, the press, and a assortment of others, but I noticed they never honored veterans. So I just put a passing post on Facebook, and Nick picked up on it, and he just ran with it. This is just awesome. So Nick and crew, thank you very much. All the people at ROLLAG here, thank you for this. This is just amazing. Okay, duty station, I was actually trained in the Signal Corps. But the time I got for Nam, that's where Vietnamization was taking over, and the drawdowns were beginning. Even though I was trained in the Signal Corps, I was cross-trained to a door gunner, and that's where they needed help. And yeah, it was just going over to the building over here with the wall, and just looking up the names. 3 from my hometown, Errol Kent, Don Baker, and the Steyer man. And then from Waban was Bobby Rassel. Bob was my partner in the wrestling room at Waban High School. He was a year older than me. We were both in that 95-pound weight class. That's changed for now. But, I did my entire career at Lake Park, now Lake Park Audubon High School. And I do want to thank all those students, parents, staff, administration. They treated me right. And that was a time when Vietnam vets, we just weren't appreciated. But over there, well, I could mention names, but I don't want to, I'll forget somebody. But I just want to thank them. And once again, I want to thank the people out here at West at the Steam Threshers.
Yeah, I'm Carl Lind. I came from Elbert City, Iowa, which is about 400 plus miles south of here. Grew up in southeast Minnesota, but claimed Elbert City as my home base for the last 60 years. I spent some time in the service, went in fall of 1959 and got out in 65, served in 6 years total in the Army Reserve. And after spending time in service, and by the way, my serial number is BR175289115, and I'll never forget that. And after service, I started thinking about collecting military vehicles, and started actually in 1992 with the interest in collecting just one Jeep. And as it turned out, I not only found a World War II Ford Jeep that I ended up buying, but after that I found some more, and right now I'm up to about 27 military vehicles, and they're all restored with the help of a neighbor. And so all my military vehicles are, they're the kind of shade tree mechanic type restorations. But they run good. And up here today, this weekend, I have 4 items up here. 1941 Dodge Command car, and then I have a 1944 Cushman airborne scooter along with the cart. And then the fourth item is a 1966 little flat bed vehicle called the Mule. So those are the vehicles I have back here, but the ones that I have back home, all the way from a half track to a duck to LVT-4, which is a landing craft vehicle, to many other vehicles that over the years I've been blessed to be able to buy, and we use them not only for parades, but I'm involved in a Thresherman collector show there at Elbert City, and they get out parades twice, at least once a day for the weekend, and then we also have people come in and want to see the vehicles on a basis of appointment, and then we're always open on the special days of the year. And anyway, military vehicles have special meaning to me because not only is there interesting history with the vehicle, but there's always an interesting history with who ran them, who rode in them, and we find that out when they come in to share. Even up here today, people are stopping. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing one like that, but my grandpa talked about it. So it's an interesting collectible type thing that has meaning also because it's the ones who drove them, rode them, came back, and some of them didn't come back from the service, and that's the reason we have the freedom here in America that we have today. And I'm grateful to be a veteran, but at the same time I'm even more grateful for all the veterans that served before me and are serving now.
Good morning, my name is Lou Ratajczyk. I'm originally from southwest Minnesota, from Ivanhoe, Minnesota, currently living in Malacca, north of Malacca. I was in the Army, got drafted in 1966, got out in April of 1966, got out in April of 1968. I requested my parents not to put in a farm deferment for me, and I ended up, our company went to Vietnam, but myself and two other people were pulled out. We ended up in Thailand. I ended up in supply and in support. It took me 20, 25 years to realize how lucky I was. And my story is here. I did not get into battle. However, I fought more for the American flag on American soil in the United States on a college campus than I did for the 2 years I was in the service. What happened was this was during the time that they were doing all the student riots against the Vietnam War and burning the American flag. I was in my technical math class, 8 o'clock in the morning, one of the friends come by, saw me in the class and said, "Hey Lou, we need you under the flagpole. They're going to tear it down and burn it." I got up, dropped my books on the floor, walked out, looked behind me, and people were just stone silent. When I got to the flagpole, one of the liberal arts instructors was ready pulling the flag down. It was about halfway down the flagpole. I grabbed his wrist and I pushed him back about 10 feet, grabbed the rope and put it back up and wrapped the rope, and I turned around and I thought, oh crap. There's about 450 to 600 students just screaming and chanting and yelling, and I stood there under that flagpole. I'd look behind me once in a while. There was about 3 or 4 guys standing about 20 feet behind me. As time went on, there was about a dozen, 15 guys way behind me, and I stood under that flagpole until everybody was gone, and that was at noon. I stood there for 4 hours, and that flag did not get burned that day, and that was a national coordinated day of protest, so all the flags on those college campuses were supposed to have been burned that day, and that's the only one that stood flying. And nobody, and there was only a 3-line mention in the paper on the 3rd page that the burning of the flag was foiled by the Vets Club. Well, guess what? I was the Vets Club. That's my story.
We salute these veterans and thank them for their service to this country. If you'd like to share these stories, please do so by clicking on the share button below.